see. Wait, we have to stand back here to see you. Hi, people in the audience. Hello. Hello. I feel upset that you all can't see us properly because we look great and it's about us. So
hello and welcome back to Harbour Cup 2023. My name is Knikmops.
And I'm QI.
And we will be your announcers for the next game, where we will have Brest taking on Ruhrpott roller derby for this next game, the second game of the tournament. And we have some rosters for you. So for Ruhrpott, we'll be playing 1-0 Ninja's Nemesis, 101 Die I Die, 109 Maleficent, 12 Lila, 127 Evaleris, 142 Fire Sky, 161 Clit Happens, 165 Babsi Balboa, 181 Barbecue, 1978 Kamikaze Queen, 24 Shred and Ripley, 29 Copper Cardi, 92 Jessup Slash, 41 Mariah, and 701 Helen Henimota.
And for the roller derby, Brest Toutes, Etoiles, we have 1-1 Nikita Bass, 171 Lola Bouvier-Bernois, 2-1 Collision, 212 Juno Future, 2-3 Scarlet Midai, number 3 Bon Voyage, 345 Castagne, 4-1 Terror Key, 4-4 Taylor Jane, 5-2 Helicopter, 6-2 Big Head, 7-4 Big Out S, 8-9 Pen Dirilet, 9-1 Roldermoord, and 9-3 Base D.
We have leads for Brest, and we have 2 blockers in the box already. So it's a heavy start for the second game of Harbour Cup.
Helicopter is lead jammer, and she's just been hit out.
Brest is bleeding blockers, having only 1 blocker on the track at the moment. 3 blockers for Brest, for Ruhrpott.
The jam has been called off.
So we will start jam 2 with a pack composite and both
2 blockers in the box, 1 for both teams.
Strong start for Brest, also keeping up making sure that the penalty box is empty. Previous game we had quite a few penalties, and this game has already started with quite a few, so let's see how this continues. We have jamming for Ruhrpott, number 1, 2,
Scarlet Midai,
and number 2, 3
Scarlet Midai, who is lead, but Eva Laureus is out in front.
Scarlet Midai for Brest. We have a quick game. Brest is trying to clean out the box and keep speeding up the track, the pack.
For Ruhrpott, it's Eva Laureus as jammer. They're both in the pack now. Ruhrpott jammer is out.
Yeah, nice work there from Eva Laureus, ducking and diving through that pack. And
so even though Brest had the lead, Ruhrpott did manage to score the 4 points. It's 4-4 on the board, 8-16 in favor of Brest after this second jam. It's been going quite fast, so I'm curious to see whether both teams can keep this up. It's skating really fast, tends to lose you a lot of energy, so let's see what happens.
We have Brest behind us here. The French here? Yeah? Hello. Bonjour. I'm not going to try to speak French.
So for the next jam we'll have Bon Voyage as jammer for Brest. And I think it's Barbecue for the jammer for Ruhrpott.
Over here, 1 person for Ruhrpott. Yes, I love your style. Front row, up by yourself. like 50 French people over here. This is great. I'm sure there's more people here supporting Ruhrpott, just the French right behind us, so they're more noticeable.
Maybe a little bit more people as well, but there was a little time out there called for the officials.
We are ready to commence Jam 3. A little bit of jammer on jammer action right before the jammer line, making sure that both teams can suck back. And it is Brest that comes out on top. Ruhrpott behind with the star in hand. That's number 181.
Nice fight at the
Yeah, so it's barbecue.
Good offense.
going on, but it is a
Brest jammer is already back in the pack.
Brest on scoring pass, having one blocker in the box. Will they continue the strategy of emptying the box before? I think so, yes.
They will continue,
because we have the Ruhrpott jammer also in the scoring pass.
Now Bon Voyage from Brest is trying to get through the blockers again.
Nice offense coming in there.
She's been hit out.
171 from Brest.
Helen Hematoma in the back, recycling the Brest jammer, who has leads. One jammer, one blocker out of the box, a next blocker in.
The call of now, after 2 scoring passes each.
Yeah, a joint jam again. I like this kind of match.
Against 8
Right,
points
this is
to
good
8
match.
points,
If
so
we
an
keep the
equal
numbers
point
even,
scoring is in this jam.
I think Brest could really run off a little bit more from Ruhrpott, but for now they want to keep as many blockers on the track. And so they do a few scoring passes while Ruhrpott does the same, and they do not call it off, making their lead not bigger but keeping it at the same pace. Because they have, for me, what I feel now, a strong focus on emptying the box.
At the moment it's Juno Future, the captain of Brest, who is jamming.
We had a little bit of confusion there. A lead call was made on the Ruhrpott jammer, but they did make a penalty. So Brest was indeed first out of the pack and making them lead jammer for this jam. Juno Future is now jamming, scoring the 4 points in this power jam. Beautiful offense on the inside line, clearing it completely for their jammer. And we have the jammer for Ruhrpott standing, ready to go for the initial pass. So we have the jammer for Brest already on the second scoring pass or third scoring pass, second scoring pass, and then we have Ruhrpott still on initial. They did not choose to take off the cover. They are still playing with the cover on the helmets.
They now managed to get out of the pack. Apparently the Brest jammer is not lead jammer either. So we have a jam without a lead because they tried to call it off, but it didn't.
They're confused, we're confused.
Ruhrpott has 3 blockers in the box right now.
It's already a lot more penalty heavy than the previous game. It is also a different ref crew, so it's difficult to play with only 2 blockers on the track. It is now Brest taking a larger lead away from Ruhrpott, largest that we have seen yet. So we have 20 to 40 on the board, 22 to 40 on the board, 22 to 44. It's like they want me to keep continuing saying these numbers. It was a high achieving jam for Brest, who also had a power jam.
So, again, the kind of maths I like.
So this is a 22-point game.
Oh, nice. Oh no.
That Helicopter as lead jammer, while the jammer of Ruhrpott.
Strong work there by both jammers.
Once again for Brest.
another player for Brest to the track. So we only have 4 blockers on the track at the moment. Strong defense there by number 24 for Ruhrpott.
Yeah, let's hope the penalties will decrease a bit in amount, otherwise the teams will perhaps grow smaller.
Maybe so, and also the speed of the game has been quite fast. And I always wonder if you are able to keep that up because your energy has to be saved. Also important to know is that both teams still have to play 2 more games this weekend, so you want to give it all, but also make sure that you harvest a little bit of your or stay in a little bit of your energy to make sure that you are ready to play more games.
Volunteers making this event happen. You see some people walking around with tape in their hands.
At the moment, all the volunteers are being thanked by the in-room announcers here.
Selling tickets.
It's always incredible to see when we organize these roller derby events how many people come out in support of the sport, volunteering, if it's only one shift, if it's the entire tournament. We're so happy to have you all here. It's so fun to have a full crew of everything. It's like in the olden days before we had our pandama, which is good to see.
I'm not very good with the internet, but I understand that it is on there somewhere.
Ruhrpott in the front, pushing that defense for Brest, managing to get leads. It's Evalorius.
First of the game.
Scarlet Midai in pursuit. The jammer of Ruhrpott being recycled, calling off the jam after scoring small, I think 3 points. 3 points. And managing to freeze 1 blocker for Brest in the box. Again, a very quick jam. 25 for Ruhrpott on the board, 47 for Brest.
No more points. A bit of jammer battle at the start.
Jammer on jammer action before the jammer line, pushing back really far the Brest jammer, but also the Ruhrpott jammer. So this is the moment that we pass the jammer line, which is incredible. And it is Brest who comes out on top, having this really strong starting strategy apparently to push as hard as back on the jammer as much as possible. Brest blocker being sent to the box for a forearms penalty. A Brest jammer completing the scoring pass. And still they are waiting until that box is empty, going for the offense for their jammer.
Now jammer's coming by again, easy pass on the inside for Barbecue, scoring all 4 points.
Easy scoring run.
Ruhrpott did manage to complete 2 scoring passes, while Brest only managed to score 1, although they did have lead and they did not manage to get their jammer out of the box. So we'll see if that strategy keeps working for them. They now will start with only 2 blockers on the track, and Ruhrpott having 4. Yeah, 4. Okay. Yeah. I didn't quite see it yet.
No, I see the box from here.
Ah, yes.
So Ruhrpott blocker making a back block, I think. Yes. Ruhrpott blocker, jammer. I mean, going to the box.
Yeah. Yes. It was a very clear back block. So good call there by the referee. So Ruhrpott did have a back advantage, but they did not manage to get it working. And now they have 2 blockers and their jammer in the box, giving a power jam to Brest with only 2 blockers on the track. box for not one, but 2 penalties.
It's always difficult to decide if you get will you get offensed on by the team as a single blocker, or will you get pushed out of play very fast by a jammer if you're by yourself on track. So it's always a difficult decision to make what to do.
Brest also really trying to keep the pack in the back as much as possible, to benefit as much as possible from that micro pack or that micro wall from Ruhrpott.
I think only one blocker left in the box for Ruhrpott, so it's
Some people make it look so
a bit more evenly it's set up now.
Yes. So 33 points on the board for Ruhrpott and 65 for Brest.
To, you know, encourage people. That's why I do it.
We have Helicopter and Ninja's Nemesis jamming. Again, Brest pushing back on that Ruhrpott jammer, trying to keep them as close to the jammer line as possible. This time it did not manage to give them a quick lead though, and it's actually the Ruhrpott jammer who
I think she got one toe stop over the line.
yes,
all
not
the way to
sure
front, but she's
if
lead
they
though.
did manage to
They are lead,
yes.
so it's been called.
I didn't see it happening, but good call by the Ruhrpott jammer to go back to make sure that they do not get a cutting of the track penalty, calling it off. 0 points scored for both teams. It did take quite a while for the lead jammer to be called, and it was a lot calmer and a little bit slower than what we have seen yet in this game.
So maybe the players are also getting a bit more used to the floor, a bit more used to the playing together again.
After COVID, I think these two teams have not yet met on track, so it might also be a little bit looking like what works, what doesn't work. Ruhrpott again with the lead, so they did manage to come back a little. It was Brest in the beginning with a lot of the leads, but now it is Ruhrpott with a couple of leads after each other.
Power jam now.
Yes, a power jam, Brest jammer in the box, no initial, and Ruhrpott is on the scoring passes.
For the offense
Good
again.
communication for the offense.
Swept the outside clear. Wow. Yep.
Brest really throwing their weight into it in getting that jammer out, but the jammer was a little bit too
Brest
stable.
jammers coming back around also.
But did Ruhrpott see it?
I'm not sure.
I'm afraid not.
No. Oh, they got a cutting penalty in Ruhrpott, so it's a 2-minute jam. 50 more
Very
seconds
unfortunate.
almost to go.
I think Ruhrpott did not realize that the jammer would be coming back so soon and chose to go for a full offense. But then their jammer got a cutting of the track penalty, making this a 2-minute jam.
Scarlet Medai is coming back for another scoring pass.
Bit of a tumble, but for now it seemed that Scarlet Medai did manage to stay inbounds.
In the back now, the blocker who just came out of the box is giving offense to the jammer for Ruhrpott.
Ruhrpott immediately on the scoring pass.
Wow, that was like this.
Incredible gymnastics, and indeed worth of an applause. Hope they didn't sprain anything.
No, exactly. That looks quite painful for some people.
12 points on the board, extra for Ruhrpott, 8 points for Brest, 45 for Ruhrpott and 73 for Brest. It is quite a close game. I think it took Ruhrpott a little bit longer to get into the game, but they've managed to get a few leads in now. And again, we have the pushback on the jammer line, keeping the start a little bit slower than in the beginning of the game.
Yeah, then it was really on high speed.
It is Brest in the front of the pack though, being recycled.
Barbecue has, did I think just remove the star.
Barbecue's out of the track.
Even though they are out
But
of
no
the
lead.
track, not lead jammer.
Brest Jammer took off their star, so there's no lead. It's a 2-minute
We
jam.
now have a 2-minute jam. Maybe the jammers thought
Blockers have to set up again for the jammer who's coming
that
up.
gives us more roll, Dobby. Thank you, jammers.
So no lead call can be made since both jammers took off the cover. So we are looking for a 2-minute jam while we still have 2 jammers on the track. No penalties were made by the jammers. A little bit of a hitting match there between the pack. The pack is speeding up again, so this is, I think, mainly Brest in the control for the speeding up, because I do feel that Ruhrpott benefits a little bit more from a slower game, where it's much more a forceful game, while Brest chooses to speed it up a lot more. It is Brest who comes out on top, completing the scoring pass. Ruhrpott a little bit slow with the offense, making it easier for Brest to reform their wall.
But Ruhrpott is back on track with her blockers for before the jammer gets back. But she gets some offense.
Good recycling by the Ruhrpott blockers.
Great drawback from Hematoma. Give him some applause.
Yeah, it's again Helen Hematoma who did the recycling.
It was nicely done, making sure that the jammer did not score any points on that scoring pass, I think. Or maybe they did. And Ruhrpott did manage to score 4 points extra. So it's 57 on the board for Ruhrpott, 81 for Brest.
It's closing up a little bit. It's always exciting to see.
We have an official review or a timeout?
Team timeout.
On the Brest side, a little talk.
We have fun fact. Officials Biohazard and Pixsqueal are both from The Hague, Parliament of Pain, and they both normally don't scorekeep. They do almost everything else usually, but now they were both set to this duty, and they were like, okay, oh, we can do that. And Erwin is also from The Hague, and he said he doesn't want to be a scoreboard operator anymore because he was always set to the task. I'm not sure actually what he's doing at this moment, but
Officials, please.
Shout out for the officials.
but I think he's helping the scorekeepers with their task.
You cheer for the officials, yeah. The applause for the announcers is optional. We're just the pretty faces, right? So we're not actually important. But the officials, we need them.
We are saying that we are the pretty faces on the in-house announcing, which is true, of course. You, unfortunately, at home are not in the benefits that you can see our beautiful faces, but you can see the beautiful faces of the players on the track. We still have a little bit of a moment here where we have a little bit of a discussion. We don't know what's going on, but this is something that happens sometimes.
Yeah, we have some fun facts, team trivia. Something about Ruhrpott is that they play in the first league in Germany, and they use this tournament as preparation for their games in the first league. So that's cool to know.
Well, I think my league did.
Yes, so they are training here to play in the first league of Germany. Yeah, okay. They also brought 2 officials and to the tournament, which we love to see. Like we all have to support each other. Roller derby supports roller derby, and they also have their supporting crew here. And I'm sorry for my German, but they are called the Aanhengsel. And since I speak Dutch, I think it's like the attachment.
Yeah.
So
I think that should be a good translation.
yeah.
And what's also another fun fact from them is that Ivi Lorius was captain at last Team Germany. So that's also cool to say. So she's jamming, they're jamming here, and they were there, the captain of Team Germany.
Yeah, so for Brest, we did not have any fun facts, but I did look up their last games, and I was hoping to say something fun, but unfortunately they lost their 3 last games, which I think were in the French tournaments, which they played against Marseille, Montreuil, and Rennes. All in both last games were in 2023, so they already played a few games this year, and in Rennes in 2022, but they lost all of their games. For now, they're good on track to have their first win-in of 2023. So we'll see what happens next.
They're just switching the ELT to tracking electronics, so it's just an official tech.
Yes. So the officials are experiencing a few technical hiccups, which is fine, and so they're switching up a few things to make sure that everything is back on track. Both teams are sent back to their benches, have a little moment to themselves, and we are doing the best we can to keep the roller derby going. But like everywhere, we depend so much on technology, but we are still able to do it all analog. So that's what we will be doing here at the Harbour Cup in 2023. I'm going to ask my fellow announcer: is it the first Harbour Cup?
Yes.
Okay, I hadn't heard of it before, so I was quite curious. Is it? It's new.
Yeah, it's new.
It's a post-COVID new.
Yeah, post-COVID new.
Yeah, so
Rare these days.
yeah. It's good. It's good. I'm really happy to see that roller derby is recovering after 2 to 3 years of hardship, and that we are now coming back with a lot of games on the program. So I'm from Antwerp Roller Derby, for instance. We have a few fun things planned, and with Parliament of Pain. Mm-hmm. Do you have some fun things planned?
Yeah, well, we have now this game in June, I think, and we have in April there's a boot camp coming where freight train is coming.
Oh, nice.
Cool. Yes.
So a lot of things planned, and roller derby is definitely not dead. We are, I think, still a little bit in recovery mode, but we're getting there. And to show that off, we are back on track. Everything is working as it should at this moment. We have Marriott jamming for Ruhrpott and Juno Future for Brest.
You don't see it that often that I think the captain is also a jammer. I don't see it so often.
In many teams they often choose not to do it because it might be that your captain is sent to the box for a penalty that is, or for a fault that's not their own, and then you don't want your jammer to start in the box. We have a lead for Marriott for Ruhrpott and Juno Future still on initial pass with the star in hand. One blocker for Ruhrpott in the box.
But the pivot is actually in the wall, in the tripod, so they cannot really respond easily to the star pass.
A successful scoring pass for Marriott, and we did have a star pass for Brest. So I think the game is going a little bit slower now, and I have the idea that Ruhrpott is benefiting from it. So very slowly but surely they are coming in and recovering from that small gap that we had in the beginning. So now we only have a point differential of 20 points, 62 to 81.
The coach of Ruhrpott has a very good outside voice. I really love that. Like, really, the call, it sounds like all the way through this. I'm usually a communicator on track, so I also have quite okay outside voice, but I have a lot of respect for this.
We still have 10 more minutes on the board to go, and then we have Brest being sucked back on the jammer line. And it is again Ruhrpott coming out strongest with the lead. It is Ninja's Nemesis and Helicopter with the star in hands. So we have Ninja's Nemesis on that scoring pass, calling it off. before Brest can score any points. Brest pivots is also Brest, yes, 1 point, and we have the pivot for Brest in the box, and we also have a multiplayer penalty being called after the jam for one of the Ruhrpott players. So both teams will start with 3 blockers on the track.
Yeah, we started out with some really big jams, and now we started getting a lot faster, a lot fewer.
Jam is on again.
65 to 82, Scarlet Midai against Evil Aricious, which name I have been pronouncing differently every time.
Yeah, I think the other announcers here, they say Evilarious. I'm not sure what it should be, but... Evilorious.
Evilorious.
We're just copying Whipping Wet Siren, which is always a good thing.
Yeah. Who's probably right.
Yeah, exactly. Who's probably right.
Very dramatic fall there by Evilorious. I can't say it.
More gymnastics.
Yes, and the pivot with the star in hand for Brest. We are in the scoring pass for Ruhrpott. And Pingoudas with the star in hand. We have a completed scoring pass for the jammer of Ruhrpott. So 69 on the board to 82 for Brest, and as I said before, slowly but surely Ruhrpott is getting there. We have not yet met the 100 marker in the first half of the game, and for me that's always a clear indicator that it's a tough game and it's a close game.
Which is exciting.
We love
Definitely
to see it
after the first game, which was also fun to see, but less exciting.
Yes,
in some ways. Yeah.
Close, well-matched games of roller derby is what we love. So, bit of a tumble there at the front of the pack. Jammer for Ruhrpott being recycled, and it is the jammer of Brest with the lead. Bon Voyage and Barbecue stuck in the back of the pack with the star in hand. On the inside line, very strong hits there, delivered by Barbecue. Bon Voyage being asked to call off the jam. So instead of clearing the box first, Brest is now changing tactics and going for the quick call-offs, because they also notice that, I'm filling in the blanks here, but what I think is that they also notice that Ruhrpott is coming back and that they are closing in, so they want to keep that distance as big as possible.
Both teams actually have a shadow coach here, I think, what looks of it, because like right opposite of the coach and the benches of the teams is standing another person of the team who copies what the coach is signaling, so that it's easier to know what's going on.
Yeah. Marriott and Juno Future facing each other. Marriott with the lead and the quick call-off. Very much speeding up that pack, letting it go, leading one more blocker for Brest into the box. The box was not even cleared and it was already called off. So we have one blocker for Ruhrpott and 2 blockers for Brest in the box. An official review being called for Ruhrpott. We have our in-house announcer going to the inside to make sure that we know what's going on, so we're not going to do a guessing game. It is Ruhrpott who will start with the pack advantage, although it is a tiny one, because they will also only have 3 blockers. And we have 2 blockers for Brest on the track, which I have noticed is always a little bit nerve-wracking when you are playing roller derby, because it leaves up very little options. Brest is starting in the front of the pack, and I think Ruhrpott will be taking the back.
Yeah, probably. And it's always, what kind of tactic do you take? Will you try to use your own jammer to help to guide the other jammer to you? Will you, will you use the other wall to also be in front of their jammer? Yeah, what's the best tactic? Will you be an old-fashioned 2-wall? Will you be like a 2-face? Or so many options.
So many options. And in the middle of the track, we see both captains of both of the teams, and as you notice, they are both jammers. which we were just saying that we find a little,
Yeah.
which we,
Out of the ordinary.
yeah, it's not something we see every day.
No. No, because also sometimes jammers have a bit more penalties. It also happens. So then if you get extra and you get like excluded from the game, it's really
Yes.
unpractical. Okay.
Brest were looking for a back block to be issued on the jammer from the last jam and the local stands. They didn't have enough information.
Okay. So Brest asked for a back block penalty being called on the Ruhrpott jammer, but the referees did not have enough information to have that call, to make that call. So the no call stands, and we're starting just as we have planned, as discussed before. 2 blockers for Brest in the box, 1 blocker for Ruhrpott in the box, and we'll see what happens.
I really love the beautiful rainbow shorts
You've got to use
of the Ruhrpott blocker.
And it is Brest with the lead, which is a little bit unexpected, I think. But Ruhrpott close behind Ninja's Nemesis versus Helicopter, and Helicopter quick on the outside line, beautiful scoring pass there. Ninja's Nemesis using that offense really beautiful. So taking the Brest wall to the out and having their own wall coming in on the in to have a beautiful offense. Did not really work as planned, but it was beautifully done.
Unfortunately, clockwise block for the Ruhrpott blocker, Maleficent.
So 1 blocker in the box. This time it is Ruhrpott blocker, who is also the pivot. Then we have a full group for Brest, which they were obviously trying to clear that box. And we ended that jam with 4 on the board for Ruhrpott, 8 for Brest, 77 Ruhrpott, and 93. Will we go over?
Everything's very spicy on track right now. What is happening? Confusement, everything that's happening.
On track. Ruhrpott.
Oh, no, there was a jammer.
No. She popped on the last second, or just after the game started, so then it was called off.
Yes. So we have 77 points on the board for Ruhrpott and 93 for Brest. Ruhrpott has to start with 1 blocker extra in the box because they were too late to field a jammer, which is now an illegal offense. So they have 1 more player in the box. So that means that they will start with only 2. Brest will start with 4, which is not something you would like. But they do have a jammer fielded, so they are able to score the points. I see Johnny B. Root giving the universal sign of let's keep things rolling, and we are ready to go. 4 minutes 20 on the board to go. So let's see what happens here. Brest choosing the full defense.
But both jammers out of the pack. So chaos in the pack. Blockers.
Does make a clean go of the pack.
Brest player blocker gets sent to the penalty box for a forearms penalty.
Number 23 jammer a little bit late with the call off because there was some disturbance there, and so. A lot of people in the box, and
again, chaos
and,
returns, kind of.
Yeah, the chaos continues. Let's say.
Yeah.
It's a little bit difficult, and we also have 2 points extra on the board for Ruhrpott. So still no 100 points on the board. 80 to 96.
We have Bon
We are back.
Voyage and Barbecue again, who have come face to face more often.
Both blockers out of the box for Ruhrpott. So we have 4 blockers against 3 blockers. But we have a kind of a messy pack situation where we have a little bit of jammer on jammer action. And it is Brest who comes out on top. Bon Voyage with the lead. And Barbecue stuck behind that very strong tripod for Brest.
Which With the star in their hands at the moment.
A little bit of offense, but not enough for Brest. Cutting of the track penalty for the jammer barbecue. And
that's unfortunate.
That's very unfortunate because we only have a point differential of 16 points, which is like not the way you want to give the points to the other team. Pivot for Brest in the box.
Blockers are holding very strongly.
No offense was played by Brest, so they lost a few precious moments of that power jam. They did score the 4 points though on the scoring pass, which is we now have 100 points on the board for Brest, and we have 2 more minutes to go on this game, second game of Harbour Cup, and we have an official timeout, review, Lord knows what. So let's see what happens. And Johnny B. Root again with the universal sign of let's keep things rolling. We have a few people in the box, including a jammer for Ruhrpott and 2 blockers for Brest. So let's see what happens next. 4 blockers on the track though for Ruhrpott, so good place to start. The jammer for Brest will take on a long lead. Confusion, penalty being called. Strong defense there by the Ruhrpott players. A little bit of falling, pushing, still no lead called. And this is a power jam. Strong hits, and lead is closed. 1 blocker on the track for Brest, and they are also in a penalty.
Barbecue is gaining up on the...
Very confusing. Yes, so all of the blockers for Brest are in the box, and it was a bit confusing there. I don't exactly know what happened. We have a jammer going to the box with a cutting of the track penalty for Brest. We have Barbecue getting that scoring pass in.
We have 55 more seconds in the jam, so this is quite exciting and chaotic again.
Pivot for Brest out of the track. 1 blocker, so 2 blockers on the track for Brest. 3 blockers on the track for Brest. Ruhrpott on again with another scoring pass. 92 to 104.
Jammer of Brest is also standing now.
Barbecue using the offense to get that 1 more scoring pass in. All points count at this point. Only 12 more points difference between the 2 teams.
Multiplayer block called on Ruhrpott blocker. It happens.
16 points scored to 8. Brest still
5 more seconds.
2 blockers on the track. Ruhrpott really good with the holding of the jammer for Brest.
Final seconds.
What a jam!
Yeah.
So many things happened. I'm glad we were with so many officials that we had the opportunity to see everything that happened.
So, welcome back. Almost going to start the second half of this exciting game. I want to name a fun fact of this floor. This floor is quite okay to skate on because it has a roller hockey coating, which makes it that you don't really sink into it, and it's just usually the right amount of slipperiness, depending on how well it's cleaned or not. If it's very clean, it's very not slippery, which is not so good. If it's very dirty, it's too slippery, but so you want it like clean sometimes, but not too often. Okay, we're on again in this jam.
Roller derby and their floors. We have a quick lead for Brest, but we also have Ruhrpott closely behind. The game has been quite close. but it ended pretty close too. So lots of derby fun.
Forearm
penalty being called, and 3 points scored for Brest. So Brest did benefit from that quick game again. And we will start with 2 blockers in the box for Ruhrpott and 1 blocker and 0 blockers in the box for Brest.
If you have any time later today or tomorrow and you're not too far from The Hague, come and watch it for yourselves. It's only 10 minutes by foot from the The Hague HS station, train station. So that's really great.
And the lead is now for Ruhrpott.
Barbecue.
So we do a 1-on-1, and then we have a very quick, nicely seen star pass for Brest. Remember, we started this jam with pack advantage for Brest, but they do not have the lead. And it is also Ruhrpott who goes for the call off. Barbecue calls off right before Brest could score any point.
Yes.
Themselves scoring 3 points. So we have 103 to 114, which is like nothing in roller derby. So we're really excited to see where this is going.
And a very excited and exactly timed call off just now. That's
Yes.
perfect. It's scary but perfect.
So for me, what I have seen so far is that Brest really likes the quick jams, while Ruhrpott is actually really good at sucking back, keeping it slow, and it makes them. And the game has been both. So yeah, I'm really. I really want to see where this is going, because it's the game that the team that will keep their heads mentally calm as much as possible and to be able to dominate with their own game that will win, but also a penalty heavy game so far. So it will also be the team who manages to but also the team that manages to get it all to make it all out of this game without having some people with a fallout, for example, that will be the difficulty in this game.
The Brest players have a lot of fans in the crowd, but that also is because the other Brest team, the B team, will also play later on today game against the second team of Rotterdam, the Rotterdam Killer Bees. So that's why a lot of people from Brest are here, which is so much fun to travel with your whole league together.
And we again have a very slow sucking back start where both jammers were pushed back, but it is Brest who comes out on top. Number 212 ready to go for the scoring pass, and we have both of the captains jamming now. So that's Judo Fortune and Ninja's Nemesis on the track for the team.
Both teams have 1 blocker in the box again.
You can feel the adrenaline is a little bit more high than at the start of the game, because all teams feel that this is close and it could go either way. Ruhrpott still has to climb out of that hole that was the beginning of this game, so they keep coming closer, but then Brest also manages to keep the scoring passes going. But we are 1 power jam away from a lead change.
Exciting.
Very exciting. We have Helicopter and Evilorius on the track. Helicopter being recycled, while we have Evilorius coming out as lead jammer.
No, not as lead jammer, it's a no pass, no penalty.
No pass, no penalty. And the other jammer had the star in hand, so we will not have a lead jammer. This means a 2-minute jam.
So much can happen in 2
Evilorius
minutes.
manages to pass on the line, on the outside line. Helicopter, a little bit more of a struggle to get through that wall.
2 black blockers on their way to the box now. 2 blockers from Ruhrpott, so 3 even. That went escalated very quickly.
And a insubordination also being called. So this means we have 3 blockers for Ruhrpott in the box, plus one blocker who is also on the track, but in the waiting line. That is not what I was saying when I mean being mentally calm.
You were hoping for mentally calmer game?
Yes.
Oh.
I was saying before that the team that can be mentally calm the longest, keeps the box clean as much as possible, will be for me the winner that is coming out on top. And I think Brest is proving my points a little by keeping the box empty and going for those multiple scoring passes.
Not empty totally though, but
I was again too soon.
Yeah, but they are definitely trying to keep it empty. But probably Ruhrpott tries to do it as well.
It's the announcer's curse.
Yeah, you shouldn't predict things.
Yeah. But again, two blockers for Ruhrpott in the box.
A lot of points for Brest in this jam.
Yes, not a power jam, but they did score 23 points. Ruhrpott also high scoring pass jam 12 points.
That was because there were so many blockers all the time going to the box and in the box, and a high speed jam.
But the point differential is now a little bit less than 30 points. So it's a close game.
I think Ruhrpott now has a team timeout. They're maybe doing a quick Zen meditation moment to regain their calm.
And I think that is a good thing. I think they felt it was so close, and they put it in their head, and they came out with. You can come out with a little bit too much of enthusiasm and then you start making mistakes.
Yes, and you get more tired and you start making mistakes as well. It's a combination. Yeah.
And you want your players on the track. You don't want them in the box. You want them on the track. So
to be in the way somehow.
Yeah. So probably a few breathing exercises. I would recommend those, and then we are ready to go again.
A lot of things occurring.
It looked like a good huddle up.
Yes.
Unfortunately, of course, with the team timeout, sometimes it's necessary when you have blockers in the box. Preferably you have your whole team out of the box if you have a team timeout, but it's not always possible.
Two blockers on the box, on the track for Ruhrpott, also two blockers on the box for Ruhrpott, and we have three blockers for Brest. Jammer on jammer action between Barbecue and Scarlet Me Die. And it is Scarlet Me Die benefiting from that small group of players. So let's go.
Don't you think her eye makeup kind of reminds you of Scald Eagles?
Maybe it's a reference.
Yeah, don't you think? With
a little bit more minimalistic, I think.
Yeah, a little bit.
Barbecue with the star in hand, trying to battle that wall. A little bit unfortunate line work. Both jammers recycling. Oh! It was a direction penalty.
Brest penalty from the Brest
getting
jammer,
the track penalty, losing the lead jammer status. Barbecue still on the initial pass, trying to go. Is Ruhrpott not noticing this is a power jam?
I think they've now heard their coach and they're coming into action with not the best effects yet.
Backboard penalty called on one of the players for Ruhrpott. And again, Ruhrpott is quite slow with their... it is successful, but they're quite slow with their offense, letting their jammer work for it a little bit. So will their jammers keep up that speed of this game that Brest is enforcing on them?
Power start in favor of Ruhrpott. This is their first power start.
Power start for
I didn't get this
Ruhrpott.
because I thought the jam was not over yet, because I saw it still counting down and then it was cold, but then nobody was lead, so I'm confused. Okay, the referees are also confused, so maybe it was not only me.
I didn't notice. I was just enthusiastic about everything.
Which is also
you
good.
see, that's when you make mistakes. If you are too enthusiastic, it's when you make mistakes.
Yeah.
Proving my own point.
I'm so proud of
Welcome,
you.
welcome to my TED Talk.
Did you ever do a TED Talk?
No, and I really shouldn't.
Could you ever do? No.
Oh, there are points going off the board, on the board. A little bit
exciting.
Yes. So we have 117 points for Ruhrpott, 148 for Brest. I think Brest is really, these last few jam have dominated their gameplay on Ruhrpott. We had a lot of players in the box for any kind of reason. So we'll see if Ruhrpott is able to recover from this. I do think Ruhrpott started very strong. They at least ended the first half really strong. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Now again, Brest started really dominant, but is this the pivotal moment where Ruhrpott will come back? We don't know.
A very different subject, but do you have a favorite after party after like a tournament or game that you've had somewhere in your
I have to confess, I'm not an after party animal. I often drive home.
Okay, well, that's also fine. Yeah. But you never go abroad and then you have to stay there at night and then you...
I used to be a teacher, so I always had to teach I couldn't take any holidays. So now I'm not a teacher anymore, so I might be able to answer your question when we go to Berlin.
I mean, maybe next year. So when do you go to Berlin?
We're going to Berlin on the 13th and 14th of May.
Oh, awesome. I would really love to go. I've never been to Berlin, even.
That's a capital offense.
Yeah, I know.
That's not... We have an official review because the confusion wasn't enough.
No.
Ruhrpott.
They are going to put something up for discussion that happened in that last...
Everybody has a bit of time extra to breathe and to get some oxygen in their lungs, have a drink, so that's probably welcomed by all the players.
Probably so.
Sometimes if a timeout is too long or the reviews, then you just get like more tired or cold, so that it's not fun anymore. But usually like a couple of minutes is fun.
I like those moments because they are a little bit of networking moments. If you are already on the track and then you can talk to the other players and ask like, are you having fun? I'm having fun. Yeah. Doesn't this floor, do you like this floor? What kind of wheels are you using? So
maybe they really feel it sucks while I'm just saying how awesome this floor is.
You are raving about it and they are probably having a conversation like what is this floor?
I also quite like sometimes wooden floors.
The wooden floors are good, yes. But Antwerp has been evicted from all wooden floor skating areas because we tend to tear them open, which is not the case. But
there's no actual need for an official review. They are correcting the number of skaters who is being expelled in the game.
Okay.
So it's that direction over there. So it's 709 from Ruhrpott who's being expelled, but they've written the wrong number on the page.
Okay.
So no actual official review.
Okay.
701. Yeah.
Okay. So we have expulsion for Ruhrpott. So they are one player down for now. But we are starting, both teams starting with one player in the box. It's the jammer from Brest and it's one blocker who has been quite a dominant blocker for Ruhrpott today. So we'll see what happens. The jammer seems to be ready. So are we...
There she goes.
Ruhrpott already ready in the defensive position, not choosing to play any offense.
Which was quite logical because the Brest jammer was already standing in the box at the start of the jam.
And it is the Brest jammer who comes out on top. It is Mariotto closely behind. And Brest is trying to... What will they do? And they will speed up the pack. Great surprise, great surprise. It did not work though for Brest this time. It is Ruhrpott points scores the 2 points and 0 points for now for Brest. Still almost a 30 points differential,
which is in 20 minutes definitely coverable.
Very doable. Yeah. That's 2 power jams. If you count in derby, like I do. Okay, we have Ninja's Nemesis and Bon Voyage. It is Bon Voyage with the lead.
Very good number 3 always. I'm number 3 myself. I love this number. Bon Voyage.
It's Ninja's Nemesis who is out of the initial pass. We have another penalty for the pivots
of Ruhrpott.
And no points on the board for Ruhrpott. 4 points on the board for Brest.
I think both teams
Nice.
are having to try to switch up their style of play because they don't have such similar styles of play now. Like, let's try different things.
I really like the different colors. I like really detail. So I like the hat of the coach of Ruhrpott as well with the nice fun colors on it. Sorry, just in between the jabs. We're going again.
Yes, we have Evilorious and Juno Future. It's Juno Future with a very quick lead there. But again, Evilorious is not very far behind. Brest is playing some kind of offense where they hold the Ruhrpott wall as much as possible to stay, but then when the other jammer comes, they try to go skate in front as much as possible. It was kind of successful with the 2-0 points.
And Brest called it off, I think, quite fast because there's still a Ruhrpott blocker in the box also. So jammer behind them.
Who is quite a noticeable blocker with a dominant playing style, so you would want that player longer in the box if possible. So Barbecue against Helicopter and slow starts, and it is again Brest with the lead. Barbecue being stuck behind, struggling a little bit more than we have seen them do in the beginning of the game to get those leads in. Brest already on the scoring pass, multiplayer penalty on one of the players for Ruhrpott.
Always drop the arms as
Three
fast.
people in the box for Ruhrpott. Having a little bit of trouble maintaining their calm. Noticing that they should not go for the no pack. Barbecue is through with the star in hand. Nice offense there for Brest. Brest ready to call it off because we still have one player in the box who has quite a big penalty count now, which means that we might be going to a few
More expulsions.
Expulsions or not expulsions, but fallouts at this point in the game.
We just talk about what we see.
2 blockers, I think, for Ruhrpott will be on track, and 3 for Brest on the start of the next jam. There's some track being fixed. This tournament is organized by Rotterdam. But it's in the hall of the league in The Hague of Parliament of Spain. It's quite an easy hall to reach, and it was practical. And a lot of the people from The Hague are also helping out as volunteers, doing lots of different things. But
Friendship
of course,
between leagues is the best thing there is in roller.
There used to be like a bit of a rivalry when we were playing each other sometimes and stuff like that, but it's more but also definitely friendships.
For sure. So that was a very good last jam for Brest. They managed to keep Ruhrpott at 0, but managed to score themselves 12 points, which is a big leap again after what we have seen so far. So now the point differential is not 30, but almost 40 points. So, and the time is starting to tick for Ruhrpott if they want to change this up. And they're starting with 2 blockers in the box, although the pivot is out pretty quickly, doing some offense.
Are they able to make it a more clean game, less penalties? And in that way, they could be able to stay in the game.
And again, lead for Brest. Last few jams have all been in favor of Brest. Good hits on both sides. Another penalty for malfeasance. And a call off by...
Often, if there's a multiplayer, usually the person closest to the referee has been given the penalty. Sometimes it's just whoever's number is easiest to read, or if it was clear who really did the holding more, grabbed more. Sometimes you grab both, and then one of them gets the penalty. Luckily, not both, because that would be even sadder. But.
And again, we are starting with 2 people in the box for Ruhrpott. We also have the pivots, 2 pivots in the box. Ruhrpott has a little bit of trouble of maintaining their streak, which they had at the end of the first half, and I was really hoping for them to get that lead change in. But so far, it is Brest who is dominating this second half, especially the last, I say, 6 to 7 jams. I think they were all lead for Brest, and they did manage to score points and keep Ruhrpott at a minimum of points. So. Yeah.
We also took a quick look at the games of Ruhrpott, the last few games. Had a one from Hamburg and Cologne, and I think they should play them again tomorrow, right? Good.
Yes.
Yeah. And they've lost from Aalborg. In the last year somewhere. I think we've all kind of lost from Aalborg once.
And we all have, and then they never invite you again, so you cannot win.
Maybe we should invite them. Maybe they can travel that far.
I played them once with the B team, and then in a tournament, and then we lost all the games. So we have a little bit of a trauma there. When I see Aalborg, I'm like...
So you don't want to invite them?
I kind of want to play them again, but I kind of also don't. Same with Toulouse. I played them once. I'm afraid to ever play them again.
But everything can be changed after COVID as well, so you never know.
Incredible start there by Bon Voyage, picking up that lead pretty quickly, knowing it's only 2 blockers, so really going in for that strike. It's Ninja's Nemesis behind, not enough with the hit. What's happening? We only have 3 people on the track. 3 blockers. Nice scoring pass for Ruhrpott.
The blockers are rushing back to the pack in the hope that they can, that they can still help their fellow blocker. Oh wow, this blocker is doing
happening all at once.
That works so well.
Yes,
I think it was number 3-7.
Good defense in the front there by 2 blockers for Ruhrpott, holding the jammer, who is a very strong jammer, very, very much at bay. Good bridging also done by the pivots of Ruhrpott, but the defense in the back is also incredible, making sure that the back is as long as possible.
Yeah, before in this round, before Evalorius was the one who held Jammer by themselves in the front, so that their other fellow blockers could come and help. That was really good work.
We went for the call off after Brest scored a few more points. We have a little bit of a discussion about that so far. For now, the score is 8-8. And it's
2 points for Brest.
So it's 8-10. 127 for Ruhrpott, 180 for Brest. And we still have a little bit less than 15 minutes on the clock. 1 more player in the box for Ruhrpott, who is also the pivot. And I'm thinking we have a fallout.
Oh, yeah.
1 fallout for Ruhrpott, and I'm guessing there are still more people in the hot seats for this as well. We can't see this because of the digital hiccups here. Barbecue in the front of the pack, pushing and getting lead for the first time in a very long time. Ruhrpott has lead. We have the jammer Juno Future with the star in hand, beautifully passing on the inside line. But there was also the hole for Barbecue.
2 Brest blockers in the pack at the start of in the box. I mean, not in the pack, also in the pack actually, at the start of the next jam. So that's exciting jam possibly.
What will happen next? So 4 points were scored, 0 by Brest, 4 for Ruhrpott, and the point differential at this point is 49 points, which is not much, but Brest has been able to keep their distance, however small, from Ruhrpott. So Ruhrpott has not yet been in the lead yet. Ruhrpott leads. Multiplayer penalty being called. I don't know for who. The jammer for Brest is also through. And it's it's Brest again, speeding up that back, killing time, and making the jammers really work for those points. But it is Ruhrpott with the lead.
Called it just in time.
And they called it just in time. If it goes that far, if I'm a player and it goes that fast, I'm like, no, I don't want this.
What's your usual position?
I play offense.
Ah, nice.
A lot of the time.
It's hard, if it's very fast to have, like, yeah.
You can't place it, you can't time it,
No.
you do stupid things, it's not nice.
You can only try to lock people and slow them down maybe.
Yeah,
It's still difficult if it's so chaotic.
So it's Ninja's Nemesis against Scarlet Midai on the track. We had 2 jammers going back. Bit of recycling there. It's Ruhrpott in front and again with the lead. So now the streak has been turning and it's Ruhrpott who slowly but surely, I had a little bit of trouble there.
Ninja's Nemesis.
Coming back. So Ninja's Nemesis with the lead and we have a star pass to collision from Brest. And we have the call off by Ruhrpott. And we have
2 points, I think.
2 points. 3 points
Okay.
on the board.
It's hard to see all those
Ruhrpott.
fingers
No, 2
sideways.
points on the board. They do this on purpose. They make you say various different things the entire time, but it was 2 points.
They just like to hear you talking.
I highly doubt it.
Oh well.
So we have 136 points on the board for Ruhrpott, 180 for Brest. We had a very strong start for Brest, like in the first half where they took a lead, and now we have that small change again for Brest. They come back and they do a few leads in a row, and so another Ruhrpott player being sent to the dressing room. Brest trying on the inside line, but the outside line. Bon Voyage, I think most successful jammer for Brest in this game. Barbecue is close behind.
Another
We have
blocker,
a
I think.
distraction penalty.
Going to the box from Ruhrpott. Barbecue holding their wrists.
Yeah.
They have good wrist guards, but you never know.
Yeah, everything can happen in roller derby.
Yeah.
We have 2 points on the board for Ruhrpott, who did manage to score a few points because of a little bit of a late call by Brest. So 138 to 184 in favor of Brest. We still have 10 minutes and a little bit more on the board.
For little injuries or bigger injuries, we always have medics, obviously, at the location. So we have 2 medics here. I explained a little bit about roller derby to them, so they know what they're looking at.
Marriott against Juno Future, and we have again a full penalty box, or at least a lot of people in the penalty box. Offense there for the jammer of Ruhrpott. Not very successfall, and Juno Future is already back. Beautifully done there defensive-wise. Very strong 2-wall by Brest, holding Marriott very close in the back and giving Juno Future the ability to do an extra scoring pass. So we still have 0 points for Ruhrpott, 8 points already on the board for Brest, with 4 more after that final scoring pass.
There's another Ruhrpott blocker fouling out, unfortunately. I see at the penalty box going on.
Ruhrpott is bleeding blockers and Brest is taking the full advantage of this. Juno Future already on her 4th scoring pass, while Ruhrpott cannot really harvest any points here. Juno Future, of course, not calling it off because they are on a streak.
And they have a blocker advantage either way this jam.
And I think we now have the biggest point differential we had from the start of this game. I do think this is a decisive jam. This is not a power jam, but we have 24 points on the board.
Why is Ruhrpott attempting? Oh, it's not possible to do a star pass, of course, because the pivot is out. That's unfortunate.
This is quite an unfortunate turn of events. I had the idea that it was still in the books for Ruhrpott. I am not trying to jinx it in any way, but 70 points differential after such a long game already.
8 minutes on the clock, it's difficult. Yeah.
And Ruhrpott having so many, I think a lot of penalties on the board. One more pivot to the dressing room.
They have a team timeout now. I think they keep on fighting. Their spirit is very strong.
I agree, but it is. We sometimes forget that roller derby is such a mental game as well, and that you can sometimes lose because for me the two teams seem very well matched, but it is Ruhrpott who have a little bit of trouble, I think, of keeping their calmness. It's also Brest who makes the game very quick, and then Ruhrpott having a little bit of trouble playing their own game, which is always mentally hard. And yeah, I'm curious to see what will happen next.
Yeah. I am happy that it doesn't work like a football tournament or something, that once you get a foul out that you cannot join the next game or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It can be very difficult to see several players get sent away to the locker room. Like
having a fallout can also be mentally very difficult because you feel. I don't want to interpret this or make the players feel bad, but it feels a little like you're letting your team down, and that's not nice at all. But it is Ruhrpott who come out lead now. Jammer for Brest being recycled, but managing to go through quite easily on the outside line. And
nice hit down there by Glorious helicopter.
And Brest, Ruhrpott managing to get their scoring pass in and beautifully staying inbounds, which is always important. Brest also going for the scoring pass, for their second scoring pass. Same with Ruhrpott. Good offense on the inside line and ready to do the defense on that inside line. Good communication. Cutting off the track penalty for Ruhrpott. 2 blockers on the track. Brest with 4 blockers on the track.
Cutting penalty being called on the Ruhrpott jammer.
Woof, woof, woof. And it is again Do I Die, who is on the track alone, which is a very difficult position to be in. We all have to be honest. Yeah.
Trying to get to each other, which is can be quite difficult.
Yeah. Brest is also really not making it easier.
A clockwise direction being called on a Ruhrpott blocker who, out of last hope, tried to stop the jammer by themselves.
I'm really suffering here because I know they have what it takes, but it's the end. It's 6 more minutes. They've lost a few players, and you see the mental drainage of the Ruhrpott players. So it really makes me sad. Another very, very high achieving jam for Brest. 24 points extra on the board, 8 more points for Ruhrpott. And now the point differential is 80 points, 86 points. Again, the biggest point differential we had all game it's really Ruhrpott who are kind of losing because of the penalties, because of the mental charge, and Brest really being able to impose their game on this second game of Harbour Cup.
I hope you are all from home cheering your teams on as well from a distance. If you're not able to be here, which I can imagine if the teams are from further away, it's not easy to always travel with your team.
It's so fun also that Rotterdam was able to get a live stream going. It's really nice for the people at home to be able to cheer their team on, watch their friends play, and be able to follow along. Makes you feel a part of the game and part of the league. So it's fun.
Definitely. Yeah.
So we have a full penalty box again. I don't know really what happened there, but we have two Ruhrpott players in the box. Those are two blockers, and then we have two people for Brest in the box, a jammer and the pivot, and then we have Barbecue who was ready to jam this jam.
Starting at the pivot line.
Brest going in for the speed. Offense for Ruhrpott. Not very successful yet. Yes,
Staying in on the outside. And his lead jammer.
Yes. And the Brest jammer is still sitting down. Now standing up 10 more seconds on the board. Thank you. So again, very quick. This goes very quick. You can hear the skates on the ground. Barbecue doing a really beautiful move, which I've seen them do before, where they are on the outside line and managing to get a lot quicker than the blockers to go from the outside line to the inside line and finding the hole that is there. So that's beautiful to see. Really smart jammer at play there. Two scoring passes in, I think.
Sorry, just reading the chat.
You can tell what's on it.
Yeah, in the chat it says that call out they did earlier about Aalborg had me dead, which is fun.
Aalborg, we love you, eh?
Yes, definitely. It was a very nice place to be. And fun after party as well, and in between party there. Yeah.
We have Ruhrpott coming out on top. Marriott out of the pack first. Scarlet Me Die behind. Ready to go chase that jammer. Again, Brest keeping it pretty quick. Ruhrpott trying to scatter the players, but also trying to get that defense going in the front. Ruhrpott did only score 1 point, so good job. But Brest did get another penalty by Johnny B. Root, and
yeah, it's good that there are no jammer points anymore, otherwise Brest would have scored a point on the Ruhrpott jammer, but that's a long time ago.
Some nostalgic roller derby there.
Sorry, I've been playing 8 years or something, so yes.
Same for me, I've also played with jammer lap points.
Yeah, and stuff like that, yeah.
I sometimes miss them, but they were confusing at times, so. 155 points on the board for Ruhrpott. They are definitely not giving up yet. 236 for Brest. 3 more minutes and a half going for still on the clock. After this, we will have a different kind of game. Who's playing next?
I think it's the Killer Bees against La Colère de Brest, if I'm not mistaken.
So it's
sorry if I'm mistaken.
The battle of the B teams, which we love to see. It's also fun to have B teams here to play another game of roller derby. If we have the crews, if we have the people all at one place, we need to make the most of it and have as many people play as possible.
I was correct, and the game will start at 3. So at 3 is the first whistle, and in the halftime of that game will be a wonderful halftime entertainment as well. So that's awesome.
We still have a lot in store for you at this first edition of the Harbour Cup. So,
but it's not over yet.
Against Ninja's Nemesis. Very compact start. And it is Bon Voyage who comes out on top. But Ninja Nemesis closely behind.
Maybe some jammer on jammer action.
Brest going for the full offense.
Yes,
jammer on jammer action.
But it was...
was it over? No, it's not over. Ninja's Nemesis closing that scoring pass in the end.
Yes.
Bon Voyage being recycled all the way back.
Brest jammer is lead.
Direction penalty.
So
A little bit of a hard fall. Well, a little bit of things happening at the
Still
end.
people getting penalties, I think, at this point. I think a Brest blocker is going to the box. I was a bit doubtful if the hit from the Ruhrpott jammer was not after it was called off already, but it has not been called, so that's good for them.
I wasn't sure what was even happening. Yeah.
It's always hard.
I didn't hear the call off, so for me it was all fine.
It's always good. It's good. You're a positive thinker.
Yeah. I always believe in the best of everyone.
Oh, I don't think they do it on purpose necessarily. Some people do sometimes. Some teams do sometimes things on purpose. But yeah.
So, although we did have lead for Brest at that final jam, it was Ruhrpott who came out on top with 6 to 4 points, and I do believe you were correct. We have the jammer going to the penalty box. It was an official review.
She made a really big hit. It wasn't like a normally legal hit if it had not been called off yet.
Yeah. I try not to do the guessing, but since we saw it right in front of our little announcer's table,
and since we're not doing the in-house announcing,
I'm fairly confident that it
guess
was
out
that.
loud, but to you we can guess.
And now we have so many people going back to the bench. Ruhrpott really slimmed down their team there, and they will start in a power jam. Brest will start in a power start. Whew, so many words.
People are playing music upstairs or something, and the Ruhrpott people are responding to it by dancing for a bit.
Roller derby players are infamous for also being incredible dancers. So must be fun.
They're good at so many things as long as it doesn't involve a ball.
That is true. And it is Juno Future with the leads. Jammer for Ruhrpott is still sitting down. Yes.
They have to watch out for the multiplayers.
Nicely done there.
On time.
Good defense by Ruhrpott. Yes. But no pass, no penalty. Being called correctly by the very experienced ref crew. We have Ninja Nemesis for doing the initial. Good offense there by number 6-2 of Brest. But it was a cutting of the track penalty, so we have a power start jam, but this time in front of Ruhrpott. But Ruhrpott also did score cutting of the track penalty. So now we have 2 jammers in the box, and now we have Juno Future coming back out. Poof.
You always have to rush towards the box if the other jammer is already sitting, because you have to sit as many seconds as the other jammer has sat before.
Yes.
So that's why the jammer is out so
because many confusing things have happened in this game. But it is Juno Future completing that scoring pass, scoring the 4 points, and we still have Ninja Nemesis being stuck on this scoring pass. Good defense work there by the Brest defense.
The Brest pivot just got a direction penalty.
Another cutting of the track penalty by Juno's Future. We saw them doubting themselves on the inside line, but did go for it.
If in doubt, go back. always.
I agree. I agree.
We have this wonderful 2 ref crews here who are now on track as Styx, Major, Buskill, Gauthier, Direwolf, Delirious Diver, Chuck and Big Whoop, so that is awesome. And our NSOs now are Tombola, Minerva, McGonagall, Gasoline, Samwise, Jamgi, Pig Squeal, Official Biohazard, Alex, Salty Surprise, Minimum Thrills, and Erin as alternates. So that's so often they're here. So awesome. They're taking a timeout, so there probably will be another jam.
There will be another jam, I think. They did the official review as a timeout to get one more jam going, which we love. More derby, that's what we're here for. We have 166 on the board for Ruhrpott. We have 248 for Brest. We had a dominant start for Brest, but now the teams are back aligned a little bit more.
There's definitely a drag show, and it's the halftime entertainment of Game 3. The drag show will be at approximately 3:35, 3:40 in the afternoon. So
thank you so much for interacting with us, Glitchcraft.
Yes.
All right.
Final jam.
Final jam of the second game of the first Harbour Cup.
So as we head into the last jam, we want to hear you make some noise for Roller Derby. Give it up for these two amazing teams. It has been a spicy game.
The next jam will start with a power jam in favor of Ruhrpott. We have Brest Jammer in the box. We have Brest Pivot in the box. We have Barbecue jamming for Ruhrpott. And fighting the final blockers. Ruhrpott did... sorry, I wanted to say 2 things at once. Barbecue again with the scoring on the scoring pass. Ruhrpott showing what's what with their offense.
But it's being a bit doubtful. The other jammer is coming back up.
Ruhrpott did see the jammer coming out of the penalty box, which is always difficult in a power jam situation. Barbecue going around for the second scoring pass. Was successful. We have the call off.
That was the game.
Unofficial score is 174 for Ruhrpott, 248 for Brest. I really liked how well matched these 2 teams were. My heart goes out to the Ruhrpott people who have lost a little bit of their calm, which has cost them quite a few points. But in these last few jams, they have shown that they are a competitor against Brest and that they are actually very well matched. So more of these games, please.
Yes, that would be so awesome.
Yes.
It was very much an enjoyment to announce with you. I was an announcer maybe or something. I don't know how to call it. But it was fun to do.
Yeah. I have been Knikmops.
Yeah, and I'm QI.
And thank you so much for joining us here on the Harbour Cup live stream. Please feel free to interact with us. We now have a view of the live stream chat, so you can interact with us. If you have any questions or if you have any doubts, please let us know. We will be back 3 o'clock with more live stream content. 2 B teams will face each other, and yeah, more roller derby, people.
You're welcome. Thank you for the love on the chat.
See you at 3.
Bye bye.